All right, the Committee on Parole is reconvening. We're at the Orleans Justice Center. It's 8:39 a.m. on Thursday, April 6th. Would the officer please introduce yourself for the record, sir?
Good morning, Parole Board. This is Deputy C. Tate, and I have here Mr. Torianno Clark from Orleans Parish.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, Mr. Clark. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name, your DOC number.
Good morning to the Parole Board. My name is Torianno Clark, and my DOC number is 537-441.
Right, and do you have a parole revocation questionnaire there in front of you?
No, Parole Board. I was not afforded a copy with all the information you guys sent.
Okay, so up on the screen, Mr. Clark, is that your signature at the bottom of that page dated February 20th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, we are ready to proceed, sir. I'm going to read the violations, the alleged violations, after which you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty, and then we'll have a conversation about your plea, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You're accused of violating condition number 4, which reads, you were arrested by the New Orleans Police Department on January 17, 2023 for aggravated battery, domestic abuse battery, and domestic abuse battery child endangerment. According to the NOPD incident report, you were in possession of a small black handgun on January 9th, 2023. How do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Not guilty, ma'am.
Okay. Condition number 5, according to the NOPD incident report, you were in possession of a small black handgun on January 9th, 2023. How do you plead?
Not guilty, ma'am.
Could you answer Mr. Roche's questions, please?
Good morning, Mr. Clark.
Morning.
Mr. Clark, do you want to make any statements on your pleas?
First of all, I just want to say I never put my hands on a woman. I never do that. I never done it in my life. That's not my MO. And I love her. It's no going around that. I really got feelings. That's gonna be the future of me. You know, she helped me no matter what happened, even though she lied on me, whatever, it don't even matter because I take full accountability because I said some things out my mouth that led her to that. So, and I love her, man, and that's gonna be my wife one day. And I never put my hands on no woman. My mama would kill me if I ever touch her.
Yeah, now, explain the 911 calls, the body camera footage, and basically, a child pleading with 911, my daddy is hurting my mother.
I never even know nothing about that till I had came back in the house and she told me. And I believed her. At first I thought she was lying. And I believed her when she had told me because she was crying. You know, and that's when I went by my mom and talked to my mom, and my mom was like, just go turn yourself in, son, because at the end of the day, you ain't do nothing, and just put it in God's hands. So that's what I did. I came, turn myself in, and here we are.
Now, oftentimes, a victim recants his or her story because they don't want to get the offender in trouble, or they're in fear for their life. So, but we have sufficient evidence by a 911 call, camera footage of you abusing your wife.
They have me on camera doing that?
Well,
I'm sorry, I ain't hear you.
It was presented at a preliminary hearing.
I never touched her. I promise. Like I would never do anything like that. Like I promise, nobody could tell you I ever heard a woman. I even touched a woman in my life, and she helped me out the streets, you know. And I can't. There's no way that I can even form a way of even saying that I even hit her. That's why I'm like just so messed up about the situation. But I forgive her.
Why would you report this to law enforcement?
Oh, she told me, she said she was just so upset at the time that I was leaving. She thought I was leaving her. And that's why she called the police. So she said she just wanted me to hurt like how I made her hurt. I mean, that's what she told me. They don't even got no, no medical report or nothing. My lawyer was telling me like, that's because I already know. I haven't even touched her.
So she was exaggerating when she said, he has a gun. He has a gun. He's putting it on me.
Now that's crazy.
Well,
I'm sorry.
He does possess a firearm. And then he owed himself, my children are witnesses.
Now that the firearm part, I don't know where that comes from because I don't even own a gun. Like, I ain't trying to be around a gun ever since I came home. I've been doing so good. That's why I'm just so surprised.
Sir. And then you armed yourself with the kitchen knife.
Oh, no.
And he began to swing the knife at Mr. Russell and Miss Russell.
Now, sir, this what happened. I come inside and she was in the kitchen. I was already, kind of mad that something had happened at work, that another job had.
She cut it on her hand. How did she get the cut on her hand?
Oh, that's when I had grabbed it out of her hand. She had grabbed, she was standing guard in front of the door and I was trying to get out of the door. And she was about to grab the knife and I just was the quickest one to grab it. So when I grabbed it, she just grabbed the side that was the sharpest. So when I grabbed it, it just kind of like sliced her hand. It was a little paper cut. It was just like a little bit of paper cut. So I grabbed it out of her hand and put it behind my back. So when that happened, she just ran.
Sir, why would a 9-year-old say that 119 operator, and this wasn't your wife, this was a 9-year-old. Now, my daddy is trying to kill my mama. There's blood all over the floor and stuff.
Now, I don't know. I really don't know, sir. She told me that she got her daughter to do that all that. I don't know. I'm really being honest with this. I haven't done her anything.
She didn't have time to talk to her mother. This was while it was going on, and somebody called 911.
I really don't know, sir. I can't even lie to you about it. I really don't even know how that even happened. And I'm being honest with that one. I can't even. I'm sorry.
And there was body camera footage submitted as evidence at the preliminary hearing.
So I promise I don't know nothing about that. I don't know. She told me that she had got her daughter to do all that. Now,
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Madam Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. O'Shea. We do have Miss Anisha Russell who would like to speak. We'd like to hear from her at this time.
Hi, how you doing? I'm Anisha Russell. At the time of the incident, we had just found out that I was pregnant, and honestly, my emotions and my anger had got the best of me. Honestly, I take full accountability because I did make a false police report. Torianno did not place his hands on me. Honestly, he did take the knife out of my hand. I had the knife in my hand. I tried to get him to not leave. He's not lying. He's telling the honest God truth. He did not harm me at all. It's true that I just had a little paper cut because the way I grabbed the knife. He didn't hit me. He never physically abused me or anything like that. My daughter actually came out of the room and seen the blood and she panicked. He did not place his hands on me, and my daughter did admit that to the child protection people when they came out to the school, that she did not witness him putting his hands on me. So they just missed the case on me and him. I take full accountability I really did make a false police report. And the judge has made me aware that I could have got in trouble. That's why the charges were dropped on Torianno, because he did not. That was honestly my anger and my frustration and my hormones, because again, I am 5 months pregnant. He did not, honestly, you guys, really put his hands on me. He's innocent in this situation. I'm not taking up for him. I don't need no sympathy. He actually really did try to avoid the situation as much as possible. You know, when I was arguing with him, fussing at him, he tried to leave to go by his mom. He tried honestly to leave. It's just me that stopped him and made the situation worse. So I honestly take full accountability. I have told the judge, I'm aware that I could have got arrested at the time. They have already told me.
Yes, ma'am. We understand. We picture. Thank you so much for your testimony this morning.
Okay.
Mr. President.
Ms. Russell,
Yes, sir.
what is the relationship between you and the offender?
That is my current boyfriend, and we have 2 kids together. I'm currently 5 months pregnant right now.
Have you ever had any situation where you had to call the police throughout your relationship for domestic abuse?
No, sir. Honestly, no, sir. This was our first time. And again, I take full accountability. He is more patient, and he doesn't really even get upset, honestly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Who called 911?
My daughter, because the kids were actually put to bed at that time because they had school Monday morning.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
Thank you.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Clark, anything you want to say to wrap it up for us before we go?
Ma'am, I just want to say, like I said, it don't matter what she did, lie about the situation, her daughter. It don't even matter, because at the end of the day, I love her, and I'm always be there for her no matter what. Like I said, one day she gonna be my wife. And
Yep, we heard you say that. We're ready to go.
Madam Chairman, executive session.
We have a motion for executive session.
Second.
In a second, I concur, so it's a unanimous vote. Stand by. Mr. Clark will be in executive session for a moment to discuss confidential matters.
yes, ma'am.
Wow. This is fascinating to me. So I wonder what the board is going to do. The board has seen this hundreds of or thousands of times throughout their career, where someone is. Wow, that was
Clark,
quick.
we're back in regular session. We will be voting. Mr. Roche will vote first.
Mr. Clark, I'm going to vote to do not revoke.
Thank you.
But if you ever appear again, I'm not going to ask questions whether it happened or not. I'm going to revoke you.
Sir.
Make that clear. If you ever appear before me again with domestic abuse battery charges or any kind of violence with a family member, I will even read the report out. I will revoke you.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to add a condition to your parole that you complete immediately upon release. You must enroll in a 26-week domestic violence offenders program. There's one in Orleans Parish.
Yes, sir.
You have to enroll immediately and complete all 26 weeks. If you don't, a warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you will be in the same situation you are right now. You understand?
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
Mr. Brady?
I concur with Mr. Roche. I also vote do not revoke and for you to complete that 26-week program.
Yes, sir.
And I do agree, Mr. Clark. My vote is do not revoke and add the condition to your parole that you enroll and complete the domestic violence program. Good luck to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Y'all have a happy Easter.
Thank you. Two.
Tate,
At all at Orleans. So that concludes our business at Orleans. Mr. Tate, thanks for accommodating us. We will adjourn. It's 8:54.
Wow. So, again, apologies for not being on my normal setup. I'm camping with the family, and it's right now 4 out for you guys. That was so the way that it started. Okay, so first of all, I am surprised that the board are letting him off. They're really let's start with the way that Mr. Roche handled this. It was kind of like a dance. Every few minutes he added a little bit more details to the evidence that they had, so to speak. And it first starts off with, they bring up, what about the 9mm pistol? And then, well, can you explain the 911 calls and body camera footage? Can you explain the cut on her hand? He kept bringing it up. It first seemed like kind of an innocuous event that kept building and building and building as the story grew. And as it was building, I said, there's no chance he's getting out. And we have seen many of these parole revocation hearings for domestic violence, many of them. And we have seen our fair share of completely fabricated reports where an ex-girlfriend wanted to get their man in trouble. And we've seen it where there's no doubt about the fact that it's a completely fabricated report. And one day, judges or prosecutors, they need to begin to punish the person who does that. Right now, it seems I've never heard of a situation where the person making the false report sees any type of punishment. But we've seen them come on time and time again where they admit it. And maybe it's not a simple thing to do, because if they're going to get punished, then why would they admit it? And what you have there is an innocent person sitting in jail. But I don't, okay, so if you want to play a little bit of devil's advocate, or not even that, just walk through what happened. He gets home. How there's a knife involved, though. And so basically he's saying they both grab the knife. She grabs the blade. It cuts her. Paper cut, as they call it. Now the hand does bleed a lot. So could have been a lot of blood. She screams because it hurts like heck. It's your hand. Gosh, man, you don't want to get cut there. The nine-year-old calls the police because it's terrifying. Says what she says because for her it is real what she sees. The police come. She says he had a gun, which she's made up, and that she's trying to kill just because she's angry. And as she, to quote her, said she's hormonal and pregnant, and locks her man up. So that's the story that they're saying happened. You know, they're saying that, well, maybe he has no track record of domestic abuse. He's never done that. And they have a recanting witness, but they have the 9-year-old. But again, that could be the situation that the 9-year-old saw, which is so terrible. Just for her to have to experience that fear, to call 911, and then who knows what she's going through at home. It just breaks my heart. I gotta tell you, I was very shocked by the answer. I said, why would a 9-year-old say to 911, my daddy is trying to kill my mama? How sad is that? It was interesting. Some things that I thought were interesting that he said. He said, I never put my hands on her. My mother would kick my butt. Something along those lines. If I ever touched her. And hey, that might have been one of the first things he said that I believe. But something he also said was, my lawyer was telling me she didn't have any medical report or anything like that. That's what he said. And what I found that was interesting is that it's like, why would she have a medical report if you didn't hurt her? So why would you bring that up? It's like, my lawyer said she didn't have a medical report versus I didn't hurt her. Now, she did cut her hand, but I don't know, it just seemed to me like that was an interesting thing to bring up if you were truly innocent. I don't know, you tell me. Again, we've seen cases where it is definitely made up, and we've seen even more cases where it's not made up, but they come in here and they do the exact same song and dance where the abused stands up for the abuser. We see it over and over and over again, and the board has seen it over and over and over again. And in this case, they might be saying there's not a track record of it, and that they know of, and they're making that program requirement. And then Mr. O'Shea laid down the gauntlet, of course. But man, it's a tough one. I'm happy I'm not in the board's shoes. I'll tell you that. I really will. What do you think? Do you think the board made the right decision? Would you have? What would you have done? Anyways, with that, I'll let you go.